This is Dev. Dev embarks on a podcasting journey to listen to the countless creatives, leaders, normal everyday people, and everyone in between in his life on Devisalive and listening to
KJ, among being one of my favorite emerging artists, you also rank high on my list of people to discuss music with. Your broad range from 70s soul to 50s swing, all the way to the likes of Cool G Rap and Nas, not only allows you to embrace practically any song as a consumer, but as an artist yourself. And I'm very excited to have you on and listen to your process and just how you think about music, because we've seamlessly had so many conversations with one another just about music for hours, and it hasn't even been about your own, which definitely, I'm just so excited to talk about your own. How are you, by the way?
Man, I'm good, bro. You know, just working, man, and, you know, trying to get this next album out, man, you know, putting in that time. But yeah, I'm looking, you know, I'm trying to get it out by the end of the year, you know?
Yeah. One of the first conversations I had, I'll tell you, just give you a little insight on this conversation, because I think you'll remember it. But after we had the conversation, I went to my friend Hunter's house and was talking with his girlfriend Ivy.
Okay.
And she was just like, "How was your day?" And I was like, "Bro, I was at work and I had the most amazing conversation with my nigga KJ. Like we like, I swear to God, we started, I think we were talking about Schoolboy Q, because like you were like, Schoolboy Q, one of your favorite MCs, right? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, there's this one joint on his newest record that I really like, and I was like, Crash.
Yeah.
And you were like, nigga, how you know? And I was like, bruh, I was like, I already know you like that reference to who used it?
I think it was
Royce the 5'9".
5'9".
You was like, oh, you already knew, you know what I like, and I was like, yeah, well, what do you like? And I think you gave me Cool G Rap to listen to, and then you gave me Art Barkley or Art Blakely.
Art Blakely, yeah.
Art Blakely.
And Art Blake, the jazz artist.
Yes. Which RP to Art Blakely. That's
man.
Insane. I think he passed away maybe a few weeks after you had given me that album recommendation.
He just passed away. And yo, it's crazy, bro, because I I have these moments where I go back to some of my favorite albums and listen to them for the whole day.
Yeah.
But I was playing I forgot the name of it. But I was playing one of his joints the other day, and I just sat with it, bro, and it took me on a trip, man. And it's like his music has that ability to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something about being a jazz musician, you know what I'm saying, and the certain things that they're able to do, because, you know, they got, like, you know, you got the pianos, you got different elements to jazz.
Yeah.
Art Blakely, he had a lot of pianos and stuff in his music. It was early 60s. So when I was listening to that album, it was just like, it just hit me right in the soul, bro. Like, it took me somewhere, you know?
Yeah. And
definitely,
I mean, how could it not? I think one of the first songs that you had given me to listen to was one of his like really like big band sounding songs. I forget the name of it. I really do remember. We're gonna look at Spotify real quick, because I have to know which song this was, because it blew my mind.
I got you, bro. I think I got it right here. Let me see. It's okay, it was called A Night in Tessina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And there was another one that you had shown me too, and I don't really remember the name of that.
You might be referring to the because it was definitely, he dropped 2 albums in 1961. It was definitely both of those albums. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was Mosaic.
Ping Pong.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Because one of the things that we were talking about that day was time signature, and like how I think he had like 3/4 and then 4/4, and then he took it to 5/8, like somewhere in the middle of a phrase. And I was like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, just incredible writing. And all this to say, shout out to Art Blakely, but all this to say, you like really blew me away with your reference to what you had listened to, what you were kind of just listening to for sample reference, but also just consuming it as a music listener, enjoyer. Where do you start like digging for that kind of music, and like how does that start for you?
I feel like, growing up, bro, I feel like, my mom's I feel like my mom's and my pops. So, my mom's and my pops, they was when I got a little older, they split up, but my mom's always played jazz music around the house.
Yeah.
So when I would go to visit my pops, in the summertime, I would stay in Columbia. He would play a lot of that funk stuff, like the Teddy Pendergrass, the Barry Whites, the Brothers Johnson, Ohio Players, all that up-tempo 70s, 80s funk, James Brown. My mom's was more like Miles Davis, Lonnie Liston Smith, Art Blakely. She was playing Bobby Humphries, a lot of that jazz. And I think I got the bare mix of the blend.
Both, yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I like, it influenced my ear to how I do my music and the type of shit I play, on the regular,
Yeah. So out of all of those people that were like, being introduced to you at like a young age, who was like the main person that was like, oh shit, you're doing something incredible here?
Oh, man.
And really influenced you going forward?
Oh, man. So
it's a loaded question, but I gotta ask.
I got you. Man. I would say, man, a cat that really, man, I'm gonna have to say, can I say two people?
Of course.
Okay.
You can say as many people as you like.
Okay. I'm gonna start off with Barry White.
Okay.
Barry White had a crazy orchestra. I'm like his albums, man, like his from Stone Gone all the way to his latest joint in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Like, Barry White was like that. And I think I would have to say Barry White, and then I'm going with my man Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock was
just a renaissance man.
I'm trying to tell you, man,
my
he was
God.
amazing, bro. And I think the beauty about jazz music, bro. You got cats like I said, like Miles Davis. You got Herbie Hancock, and then you got more of the fusion sound like Donald Byrd, and the Robert Glasper. So it's kind of hard to compare these cats.
Yeah,
because it's like they all have different things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The vibes they bring. So, but I feel like if I had to give you two names, bro, off the rip, it would be Barry and my man Herbie, man, off the rip. Yeah, definitely, bro.
So you talk about two people there that were incredibly important to the 70s era.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to miss that sound in your sound. It's so infused with the samples you use, the drums you're using. Like everything is just so incredibly 70s, even down to the art covers that you've been making for your music albums. Where do you begin with sampling? Because I think we've talked about this, a multitude of times, even down to the part where we were at work and you were like, bro, if you got something you like, and like, just share it. And then like, I'll go through our messages and I'm like, oh, I would share this with you. Yeah. And I would also try to push you a little bit because I think one of the things that you appreciated about our thing was like, I was listening to a lot of different music
shit, man.
And I was like, bro, there's this band called Death. Yeah. They're punk. Yeah. But I want to see if you could
rap over that.
Yeah.
Sample that shit.
Which I still want you to do that shit so bad. I want to hear it so bad, KJ.
Right.
Point being, you have no limit to like what you can infuse into your own sound. Mm-hmm. How do you start? Like, what is the process of, let's say, making an album like Incognito?
Oh man, so like,
incredible album, by the way.
Nah, that's love, bro.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say for Incognito, bro, I feel like for Incognito, man. So when I dropped Verbal Art had this whole Renaissance 70s fusion jazz funk vibe, and I think I heard my man Job, we was talking on the phone. Shout out to Job. We was talking on the phone, and he was like, we was breaking down each other's styles and stuff. And I think, he was like, yo, Rome, when I listen to your shit, I was like, yo, Job, I said, yo, bro, your shit sound like a black, like a samurai, like a black samurai kung fu film. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, Rome, and he was like, yo, Rome, I think your shit sound like a blaxploitation album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think he said that at the time, because I think at that time I was binging a lot of blaxploitation movies. Yeah. So when you hearing a lot of those movies and stuff, you hear a lot of that funk and that jazz in it. And I think, kind of the way I act and talk, it kind of goes with the whole aesthetic. So he got that vibe. So I think, man, I started watching some of the films, and I said, yo, you know what? I might run with that. I might go and flip one of these covers.
Yeah.
Make my own blaxploitation album, and it came from that little convo alone of doing that. Because I think at that time, bro, I always loved the blaxploitation films, but when he broke it down to me, and I started hearing the production I like the rap over and how I sound on, I'm like, yo, I could run with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how the whole the Incognito thing came about. You know what I'm saying? I took the Black Caesar cover and I flipped it.
Yeah.
That's a classic film. So I wanted to like pay homage to that and that whole genre of movies, you know what I'm saying? So basically, with that being said, I started throwing the skits in there to make it more cinematic, make it feel like y'all really watching the film.
Yeah.
Every track. You know
That's funny you say that. It feels like that. Because along with the skits, along with the samples you're using, along with just the instrumentation that's present on there, you have to incorporate your rhymes, which you, nigga, barred out.
That's love, bro.
Barred out. That's one of my favorite songs on there is Memory Lapse, actually.
Okay,
because
Memory Lapse,
I can't say that each song holds that much importance lyrically other than like, you barring the fuck out. And that's important in every sense of the word. But Memory Lapse kind of holds this deeper meaning where you're kind of playing on the title of like, you have all these memories with your mom and your dad, and whether they're bad or good is kind of in your own interpretation, but you kind of want to have a little lapse in how much you remember badly because you love these people so much. Am I off in how I'm interpreting that song? Or
that's yo, you said it perfect, bro. Like I said, I was talking a little bit about everything, like my homies back in the day, my grandmother, my cousins. I was just, Memory Lapse was literally my way of venting to the people of a lot of memories that are stuck in my head. And at that time, I think when I wrote that song, it hit me in a certain spot to open up to a lot of those things, you know what I'm saying? Like situations I went through with my mans, or like, dealing with my grandmother when she passed, and, my game my pops put me on, and, just little things, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of made the song. So I called it Memory Lapse because I realized I was just writing a bunch of memories that, made me who I am today. You know what I'm saying?
It was incredible, especially just like listening through and then like kind of collecting each memory as you go, and like, oh, these are the things that formulated KJ into KJ. And I was like, incredible storytelling. I can't get enough of it. So
that's love, bro.
When it comes down to it, how much of the real stuff like that comes into play when it's time to write an album? Because I know that there's like a little bit with you kind of living up to a character or living up to a concept for the album. I know Mr. Incognito is what you embodied, that silhouette. How much of the real stuff goes into play with the character work?
I feel like a lot of it does. So I'm gonna break it down. That's a great question, bro.
Thank you.
I think about that all the time. How can I? Because a lot of times when you're doing a concept and a flip, the best thing to do is to do something that you can make it tie into your personal life. So it's not like it's fiction, but so people can relate to it.
Exactly.
So I feel like, I took the whole blaxploitation thing because it kind of relates to like me in a sense, how I act, my personality. Like, I kind of grew up old school, so around a lot of old people. So I know a lot of old slang, you know what I'm saying? I know how to, like, when I talk to my homies a certain way, how I act or react, it's something like out of a blaxploitation film, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mans would tell me, he'd be like, yo, you really should have been in a lot of those films, just how I act.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as an artist, what I want to do is I want to make my art relate to the listeners, you know what I'm saying? So I want to tell my story, but I want to make the concept blend into what I'm talking about. So I try to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to create that. I do want to create and push that feel that you're really in that motion picture. Yeah. But in my own way of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. And I think you really did that very well, because a lot of, I guess, my main gripe with like a lot of music that kind of attempts to do that, where they, enter concept album territory, is they kind of lose a little bit of the silhouette
Yeah.
in trying to kind of balance it out between telling their story or telling the concept album story.
Right.
And then they kind of lose a little bit of focus on what they're even talking about in the first place. And I think you balanced it out in like songs like Memory Lapse, where you are very much so KJ, but you're very much so Mr. Incognito.
Mr. Incognito, right.
And
right,
I think that blend is so important and is more any reason for anyone to listen to that album. It's incredible. It's one of my favorites from last year.
Wow.
And when I was listening to it, I was like, I work with this nigga. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, man.
Continuing on the thought of like just like rapping, doing everything that you're loving in music, you're doing it with your really, really good friends within Divine Records. What's it been like coming up with them, and where did y'all
man,
meet up?
Man, you know, like I always tell John and Javi, shout out to John Javi, man. Like,
Shout out.
Javi Darko, man, yo, he's when I tell you, yo, he gets busy.
Yeah.
That dude, like, Javi is different. When when you work with dudes like those two, yo, bro, you got no choice but to get sharper and get better, because like those are the type of cats that's gonna push you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, and it's not just one man. We all pushing each other. So it's like, bro, if one man is slacking, you can't slack for so long, because somebody's always on their shit.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So working with Ja, man, and Javi, it started when I started working with Ja. You know what I'm saying? Ja had this thing called, he already had the group, Divine.
Okay. Heard.
You know what I'm saying? So basically when I was I had my own thing going on called Word Life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I started working with Ja, he had Divine, and it was like 5 or 6 other people in there, you know what I'm saying? Eventually it dwindled down to just me and Javi, you know what I'm saying? So it started with us just, working on records and doing stuff, and then eventually, man, we started working every day, man, every day, you know what I'm saying, and tapping in, and then over time, bro, we just decided to just, come together and make it work. And then the day we did that, bro, it just all went uphill from then.
It's just connected.
So it's like, since then, bro, yo, those are like my brothers, you know what I'm saying? So we just continue to get sharper, be strategic with these moves in the music industry. They just dropped a crazy album called Fear and Loathing in Long Island. Y'all should check that out, man. Y'all love real hip hop. That's the album to go to, man. For real.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's y'all's creation process like when y'all are in the room together? Because I'm assuming it's not always in like a unified studio session, but like when y'all do get the chance to be around each other like that, what do y'all feel like,
man, it
drives y'all?
I feel like, yo, depending on it, sometimes I think we get influenced off of films. Like films, it could be so much stuff. Like it could be a jazz album, it could be a book, like different books. We all like to read different books and stuff, and documentaries. We get inspired off of random YouTube documentaries, and sometimes like what we'll do, bro, we'll send each other, like, our albums have concepts. We'll send each other skits, so we know what, like, Hobby, he's into shamanism and stuff like that. So we'll go and watch documentaries and send little clips of shamanism or people breaking it down and stuff, and spiritualism, and we'll probably send it to him, to break his album down, because we all have notes in our phones, and we all share a note. Yeah. So we could like all see the note, and we'll be like, yo, you should put track 3 before track 4. We should do that. You see
of course.
It. So like, and we all have that.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's giving a input on what you can do. These are like 3 dudes coming in doing that for everybody's album.
Dude, that's incredible.
You know what I'm saying?
As a group, which I think they're not the first to do it, and I don't even want to give them credit for this, but I think they do it in such a great way. Griselda.
Oh yeah, Griselda.
Where Benny the Butcher hasn't had an album drop without Westside Gunn executive producing it. And it has nothing to do with the music. It has everything to do with the silhouette behind whatever he's going to be. Like Tonka Talk's like incredible storytelling.
Tana Talk is crazy.
And just like kind of phrasing everything and putting this song here specifically because he knows that it's going to complement that. Like, it's just like,
bro,
that kind of teamwork can exist. You don't have to be so selfish with how you maneuver in a group. You can compliment everybody that's a part of the artwork, and I think that that's like the key to that, just treating everything like an art piece. And I think y'all are fucking doing that, because man. While I've only really listened to your stuff, I've been getting more into the Divine camp, and I'm just like, holy shit, like each one of these guys has a solid project out right now. Yeah, which is that's not normal. That's not normal. Like, there's many a camp where it's like, oh, there's one guy at the top, and you know who that nigga is. But all of them on in tip top shape it's impressive.
That's love, bro.
It's really impressive.
That's love, bro. Definitely got more, and they, we always cooking up, so we got better shit on the way.
So excited. I've been hearing a little bit of the studio sessions in your IG. So you were talking about that process where you were like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, and I only know what you're talking about because you sent me Apple Notes, collaboratively, to add things to, like, what I would call a mood board, where you had samples listed, and then you had like movies listed, and then you had, I think you had potential song titles there too, but then you dropped like little tracks or demos that you've been working on. While everything there was so organized in my brain, I bet someone looking at that from the outside, like, what is this? Like, what am I staring at? How do you organize your brain when it comes to coming up with those albums? Like, do you just like start somewhere and then find yourself at the end, or do you see the vision from day one and then it's like day number 100, you're like, oh yeah, we got it?
Yo, man, if I had to break my mind to you, bro, my mind is it's gonna be hard, but I say I'm gonna, bro, surprisingly, my mind is scattered, but it's organized scattered. So I'll be somewhere one day, and I'll be in another place one day, but I'm still over there.
Yeah, 100%.
You get what I'm saying?
Your brain's a jazz piece.
That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put that. Yeah, because honestly, bro, it's weird, because so how I come up with my, when you seen the titles, so if I have a concept for an album, I already have titles in my head, because I always try to make my titles sound like movies and books titles, so that's why they're extra long, you know what I'm saying? So like, excuse me, Mr. Incognito, I was like 40s and shorties, 76 Cadillac coupe, The World Is Mine, stuff like that, Kamikaze, different, the Fatality, The Final Blow. I try to make them where they fit the vibe of the album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this sound like it's going to be some real 70s blaxploitation, type shit. And I feel like that's how usually I come across, because half the time, bro, I come up with my titles before I even had the beats. Really? Okay. Real shit. Like, I don't even hear the beats sometimes. I just come up with the titles, and I organize. And the way my mind works, I come up with I see beats, like I see production like color. So certain beats give me a certain color. Certain titles give me a certain color. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may be like, that need to go there, that need to go there, that needs to go there, before I even know what the beat's gonna sound like. Yeah. That's just how, and it works out for me.
Oh, that's just like so interesting.
Yeah, bro.
It's so funny you say that, because there's this album called Color Theory by this band called Soccer Mommy. Okay. And she organized, it's one of my favorite albums by that band, because she organized each song by the color that it sounds like, and based that around the entire album, because she started there, was like, I know what I want it to look like. I don't really know what it's going to be called, but I really want the album to be divided by colors. So the blue songs, sad as fuck. The yellow songs, they're very happy sounding, very groovy, but also still really sad as hell. And then she has like gray, which is just like really dark and morbid. And I was like, how the fuck do you come up with that kind of shit? Right. But I'm starting to feel like most artists feel that way, that they kind of divide everything they're doing, whether they know it or not, by color. Because like most of the songs that I would say sound like blue, or just like very blackish in that dark realm, they sound like that. Like I would say Memory Lapse is a blue song where it's just like, oh, this is fucking hidden, but like, man,
it's black, blue.
This nigga, yeah. You get nostalgic right now, which I love that. One of my next questions has to do with genres, because we've been talking about music that inspires you and has been like a driving force to where you're attacking your art from. When does hip hop like really start infiltrating your listening eras? Because like you could run a seminar on hip hop, because you sat me down one day and you were like, nigga, this is Cool G rap. I want you to go home and listen to this shit. You hear me? And I did, and I fell in fucking love. You knew the song I fucking liked. This is the one with the out-of-tune piano. I forget what the
Ill Street Blues. Ill Street Blues,
I was like, how have I never heard this shit?
Ill Street Blues, man.
I mean, god damn. So
Ill Street Blues, man.
In layman's terms, when did hip-hop become such an important driving force in your life, and
man,
who keeps you going nowadays as far as being an artist or a listener simply?
I would say, man, I feel like, hip hop has always been the backbone. It's always been there around me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Since I was like 4 or 5, just hearing it. I grew up on a lot of 80s rap early because of, my uncle and my pops and my cousins.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I would say you know what I'm saying, like I was about 11 or about like 10 or 9.
Okay.
So I started writing my own rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm just getting started. It wasn't nothing too crazy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like around 9, 10, I started really trying to be like, yo, I want to, let me see what I can do. Come up with what I can come up with, And then, I didn't really take it seriously. But I liked how it sounded. I liked the Curtis Blows, the Big Daddy Kanes. I knew who the Ice Cube was. I knew who Rakim was, you know what I'm saying? Like even when 50 was hot, Jay-Z, I was listening to like different cats at the time, just from being in the barbershop, being around my uncles, Spoonie G's, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until, bro, honestly, till I got about 18 or 19, until I really started taking it seriously, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's when I really wanted to pursue like becoming an artist. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to like study like Jay Electronica and Nas, and I used to study Jadakiss and cats like that. You know what I'm saying? And I started going back and studying the forefathers again. Like the Cool G Raps, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Rakims, and the Slick Ricks. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I think I really started really getting nice. So like when I was like, I want to say about 2021, I really started getting nice, bro. You know
really?
Yeah.
Just taking in their influence. Simply.
When you hear, I can't explain it, bro. It's like when you really go back and you study the craft and you see where certain shit comes from.
Yeah.
It does something to you, man.
Right.
I can't explain it, but it's like going back and seeing where Kane got, like, listen to a Grandmaster Caz tape or listening to a Melly Mel verse. Or, you know what I'm saying? It just changes your whole outlook on how hip hop is supposed to sound.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, like when people ask me that question, or people that say like they want to rap, I always tell them, go back to the pioneers,
the bare bones,
so you could get that.
Yeah.
That it's something about that feel, bro. You gotta have to make you inspire you. You know what I'm saying? It's something, man, and it's beautiful when you see the evolution of it,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, in only 50 years, technically.
Oh man, 50 years, baby.
Isn't that fucking insane?
50
that
years,
this thing that has not even taken over how we make our art is 50. Like that's so young and not even like really scratching the surface yet. Not even though, right? Like, because there's something, we were talking about this before we even recorded. We was like, I don't know where hip hop's going because it's changed so much in a year. Yeah. Like what was popping last year isn't popping right now.
That's a fact.
Like there's something new always happening. How do you feel like you've fallen with everything evolving as fast as it is nowadays?
Man, so I remember when I first got up here, we had that convo, man. It's kind of like I feel like we in like the Diamond Pie era. So it's like the melt. It's like where you got a lot of different mixtures of styles and stuff. So you never know what you're gonna get because so many different artists are influenced by a mixture. We had like 5 different eras of hip hop. So you got from the 80s to choose from, the 90s to choose from, the 2000s, the 2010s. You could get a cat like me that listens to stuff from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. Like I could tell you off rip, like, you know, I feel like the 5 cats that influenced me are like Nas, Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, Ransom, Duffel Bag, and you know, Jay Electronica. They from different eras. But you know, just from listening to different eras, it's like it helps you be able to like stand the test of time and have a timeless piece of a timeless style because you're not stuck in one era. But you know you can keep it traditional, but then appeal to the newer cats by listening to more of the new cats like the Mikes, the Navy Blues, even Doom. Even though Doom is part of that era, Doom still appeals to the newer cats.
Yes,
because of how he presents his albums, concepts. It's incredible to see somebody do that.
It's insane because things he was making in 2004, just to go off the top of my head, that album is specifically sits in people's playlist rotation as we speak because of people like Navy Blue, like Earl Sweatshirt, like Mavi, and like
Makami.
Yes, like all those guys, they're like teaching really these white kids like, oh yeah, MF Doom was crazy and we get everything we get from him. So if you want to go back, just go listen to Mad Villainy and then come back to us and listen. And they were like, what the fuck? Like it's so crazy. And hence MF Doom's numbers skyrocketing once he passed away, which is the unfortunate part about this game. But once you die in infamy, and if you were really a goat, it kind of shows. And you know, everybody knew. If you knew MF Doom, you knew MF Doom, which kind of made people go like, I don't know who MF Doom is. Let me go back. And then they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's like, Food was crazy,
right? Crazy, And that was just one or two albums out of his catalog. He had like 5 or 6 classics.
Oh, dude. It was nonstop for a while, too. Man. There was like an era of like, I would say like 02 to like really, I mean, even 06, 07 with like, I forget the name of that last album he had that year.
Oh, you talking about the 09? You talking about the Born Like This?
Yes.
Born Like This.
He was like still like just like putting out he was one of a kind.
One of a kind, bro.
Actually, you know what's funny? That's the first time, he's the reason we first talked like ever. Because this was, I believe this was like the beginning of 2022. Maybe the end of 2021, and I was listening to Lavender Buds and Drink Station, and you was like, "Yo, who got this playing right now?" I was like, "It's me." He was like, "Yeah, that's that shit." But I was like, "All caps when you spell his name." I was like, "What? Come on, man."
Yeah, that Lavender Bud, niggas don't know, bro. Like Doom, we talk about Doom as an MC. Doom as a producer, oh man, niggas don't.
Oh, dude,
niggas don't know, man.
Endless classics, dude. He's an incredible.
He's incredible, man. And like, bro, we didn't even talk about, mind you, we didn't even talk about KMD Doom, or we didn't even talk about like King G Dora. You know, he had like 3 or 4 different
like eras,
like egos, like what's it called, personas. He had 3 or 4 different personas, and he was dropping classics under each of those personas. King G Dora, Mad Villain, Doom, Doom, KMD, Zevlov X. Like, you just keep going, man. Like, Doom was like that, y'all. You
incredible.
Yeah, he was like that.
So you've listed out a bunch of influences. You've listed out a bunch of people that have been a part of your life as just a consumer. Where do you find yourself, like, as far as like your peers go? Who are you listening to nowadays that is amongst your group of people that are upcoming in the game? Because I would love to know who you take from and also notice and take in, because, by the way, you have a great ear for what's good.
That's love, bro.
Who you listening to nowadays?
I would say, yo, shout out to my man Grid Noy. He just dropped a crazy album called Still Fly. He one of my favorite cats out now.
Grid Noy.
Dat Boy Vic.
Dat Boy Vic.
Dat Boy Vic is like that. You know what I'm saying? He's a cat. He's out of Columbia, South Carolina.
Word.
But he's hot right now. You know, he dropped some solid. He's on a little run. He dropped some solid shit. I would check him out. JR. Shout out to JR, J.A.R.R. Yeah, he's dropped some crazy shit. Hoop Dreams 1 and 2. Hoop Dreams 3 is coming out soon. JR is another crazy cat I listen to. You know, of course, Jai Javi,
for sure.
Darko, Frank Izzo out of Philly.
Okay.
Frank Izzo, you would fuck with him heavy, man. If you like that Griselda type vibe, bro, and that talk, like bars,
shit,
it's Frank, my man Frank Izzo, he give it up crazy, man. So,
word.
Yo, shout out to my man Frank Izzo. Trying to think, man, somebody else. It's a few cats, man.
You gave me a good list there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dig in.
Those are the ones I would say, yeah, you should check out ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm on that because you know me, I'm always trying to take new music in, man.
Yeah.
And when I hear a new nigga come up on the block, I'm like, yes, finally, like something new is happening here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, music is ever evolving, but like I feel like we've been in a little cycle of the same shit for like about a year now. You could probably say for the last 5 years, but it's changed a lot in the last 5 years if you have your ear peeled.
Oh, yeah.
So every time I have my ear peeled and then I take a little seat back because I'm trying to listen to the people I got in my playlist already, I'm like, yo, who's new out here? And then I know who to ask, and I knew you were one of those people to ask.
Yeah, man. I always keep my ears open, man, because, one thing about us, bro, we heavy in the crates, man. We always trying to look for new stuff all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the few things we talked about. I said when you was telling me about, like, because you was into the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Always coming across new sounds, new music, and it keeps you wanting to dig for more. Once you dig, bro, you're going to keep digging because it's going to keep coming.
Yeah, you know dude. Because here I am still a complete, funny enough, you were probably one of the first people I had ever talked about Wu-Tang and Buddy Holly the same breath. Like it made no sense where our conversation was headed, but I was like, bro, like, yeah. And you were like, give me your top 5 of Wu. And then you were like, so what else you listening to? Because you fought with like Billie Holiday and bitches like that. And I was like, yeah, I love Billie Holiday, but I also love Buddy Holly. He's one of my favorites from the 50s, and I sold you on him.
They did a movie on him, didn't they?
They did a Buddy Holly
story. I seen it. I need to go check it out, man, because I seen the other day. I thought about you, man, because it popped up on my I got a little movie list thing. I got a watch list thing. Yeah. And I was just adding, films. I'm a big film
buff.
Movie, you know that.
Oh yeah, I'm about to get into that part too. Don't even worry about it.
But I seen the Buddy Holland thing pop up. I said, yo, man, let me go tap into this shit, man.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? It's on the list. I got to get to it.
Okay, I'm
gonna get to it though.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's a little loosely off on the timeline, but they hit the points.
Oh, all right.
They show when Buddy Holly popped off because his rise to fame was like overnight. Like 58, 59. He had That'll Be the Day. Jesus Christ, what's the name of that song?
Woo! It's a Buddy Holland joint.
Yeah, bro. Hold on. Is it Raving? Yeah, it's Raving. And
Raving?
He was just out of here and then dropped like straight hits for the rest of his days until he passed away.
Wow.
Unfortunately, when he turned, I think he was 24 when he died.
He was a young boy, man.
Bro, he was so young.
Damn, son.
Day music died, man.
24?
Yeah, in a plane crash. It was him, Richie Valens, and Jay the Big Bopper. And I think all of them were under 25. Except for Jay the Big Bopper, I think he was 27. But
that's still
regardless,
young,
it's like, what the fuck?
Damn, man.
All about to go crazy in the music industry. So it's one of those things where it's like, even those guys I just listed, Richie Valens, Jay the Big Bopper, those guys have hits. And I haven't even gotten that far in their careers. So thinking about how many people I already acknowledge were goats in that era, and I still don't know the half of what happened in the 50s. That means I don't know shit about the 60s yet. I don't know shit about the 70s, even though I feel like I do.
Yeah,
I don't,
know a
because
little
there's so
yeah.
many people in those nooks and crannies, and
Right.
just that possibility of finding my favorite song, or even knowing the fact that right now as I speak to you, I don't know my favorite song before I die.
Right. Yeah.
That's exciting to me.
Yeah, nah.
That's why I love this music shit, dude. It's just,
It's endless, bro.
it's incredible.
It's endless, man. Like you just, like I told you before, man. You just keep digging, and you find new shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. You were just saying you were a movie buff, which I knew this about you. We talked about movies all the fucking time. What's that top 5 looking like? Like, what is? I'll ask you a better question, because I hate superlatives, and I think I hate being asked my top 5 too, even though I know it.
Yeah.
What's 5 movies if you are sick, bedridden, and you just can't move? You have nothing else to do. 5 movies you're gonna watch
5 movies. All right.
that you know will entertain you, keep you
Okay.
chilling.
Okay.
Your favorite movies to watch.
All right, man. This is still tough.
I know.
All right. First, man, I think I'm gonna go with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I love that film.
It's
Classic
actually on my
Clint
watch list.
Eastwood. You know, classic Clint Eastwood. You know, he's phenomenal. you
Yeah, I love Clint.
know? It's this movie called I'm gonna go with probably American Gangster.
Okay, fair
American
enough.
Gangster.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. Yes,
Fine.
come on, man.
I'm
Come
not
on.
mad at you, bro.
Come
You're
on.
naming some hits.
Come on, man. Come on. Like, and I'm gonna go into my psychological thriller bag with this one.
Okay.
Cape Fear with Robert De Niro.
Okay, heard. Yeah.
No?
It's an underrated one. I
Very
feel, well,
underrated.
not underrated. Everybody likes Cape Fear,
Yeah.
but like it's not on everybody's
Yeah,
top 5.
it's not. But it's definitely a great film. If you really watch it, it's one of those films that really will, like, it keeps you locked in, bro. There's so much going on in the film. For me, when I first seen it, bro, it was not one dull moment for me. I was when I watch a film like that, that's how I know I'm sold.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I watch a film, bro, and it's all over the place.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not really interesting at every point.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that 5th one, man.
It's gonna be hard.
Man, that could, let me think. Am I gonna go Wesley? Am I gonna go Denzel, man? All right, so if I'm gonna say White Man Can't Jump
Okay.
or Clockers. White Man Can't Jump or Clockers. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny, like it's in that similar realm. I think like I would go like a Lean on Me.
Yo, you gotta get out of my head, bro.
Were you about to say Lean on Me?
I was about to say Lean on Me or Do the Right Thing is really supposed to be in that 5.
That's crazy. You were about to say Lean
I was
on
about
Me?
to say Lean on Me or Do the Right Thing is supposed to be in that 5.
Wow.
I would have taken out Honestly, and I love White Man Can't Jump, and I love Clockers.
Great movie.
I love both of them, but I'm throwing Do the Right Spike Lee all
Fair
day.
enough.
Well, Clockers is a Spike Lee film, but
Yeah, sure, but
Do
like,
the Right Thing
yeah.
is in my 5.
Yeah, I mean Radio
Yeah.
Raheem's
Yeah, come on,
goated,
man.
man.
Come on.
Oh my god. I can't believe you were gonna say
Yo, bro, you gotta get out of my head, because I was thinking like Morgan Freeman, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, no. Then I'm like, nah, I'm going with. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm going with Do the Right Thing.
Nah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
all around classic, because you have your like melodramatic,
Yeah.
and then you have the comedy with Martin and all those guys. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the most incredible movies
Incredible,
of all time.
man. Incredible piece of work, man.
Dude, awesome. KJ, what's next for you, dude? Like with everything that we've talked about in this episode, everything that goes into your creative process, you being as far as you are into your next album, what are you excited? What's keeping you going for the future as being an artist?
Oh, man,
Just to excite us fans.
yo, man, just seeing like, the love from my previous project, man, and, getting outside and, networking with different people, man, and seeing my brothers, John Javi, seeing how they moving and the love that they getting, just, it's amazing. That stuff, little things like that, push me to want to, go a little harder, man.
Yeah.
Every time. And, bro, just, watching documentaries and watching films. You know, I lately I've been, you know, tapping into a lot of you know, philosophical shit and just watching shit on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I've been studying stuff like by you know, like a lot of stoic rules and shit. Like, you know, I've been studying different things on YouTube, so I feel like stuff like that, bro, it just pushes me to just, you know, go further and strive harder, you know, even outside of artistry, just become a better man, you know, a better person, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And you're doing it, man. Like,
That's love, bro.
I'm from a distance. We don't see each other like every day like we did when we worked with each other. But even when we're that far, you just see what people are doing online and seeing them applying pressure. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's coming. Yeah. But I'm so excited because you're just about the art, dude. And that's all you can be in this game. And that's love, what's going to push everybody really far. So I'm really excited to see where Divine, where you, Jaw, and all you guys, y'all are going to do this shit, man.
Yeah, man. We tell, man. We're not even trying no more. We going to take this shit over, man.
Nah, for sure. I'm already knowing.
Yes, sir.
KJ, I appreciate you, bro.
You already my brother. Appreciate you,
boy.